The Mets are so bad that they can't even win right. They had a doubleheader sweep of the Washington Nationals, who are absolutely terrible, and they're getting so excited that three of their players are starting to boo the fans. Kevin Pillar, Francisco Lindor, and Javier Baez have started to boo the fans. Francisco Lindor and Javier Baez are two of the bigger names in the team and two of the better players. They can't do this. This is very, very unprofessional, and especially their responses. Their owner called out the two players, and Javier Baez, someone who's looking to get a contract extension, certainly has blown that at this point. As we see, the players have booed the fans. We know Javier Baez is a very expressive player. We saw his altercations with Amir Garrett during his time with the Cubs, and Francisco Lindor is generally a very positive guy, known as Mr. Smile. Just a great player, great defender. Received a 10-year contract, $341 million this offseason. He's the Mets' big guy. He's going to be their star. He's not even through his first full year, and he's already having issues with the fans. He's struggled. It's been clear he hasn't handled New York well, and it just is just not how you handle it. We have seen players get booed in the past. Derek Jeter was booed, and he told the fans to keep booing him until he figures it out. Giancarlo Stanton has been booed for a number of years due to his poor performance, lots of strikeouts, and his inability to stay healthy. And this month he's tearing the league apart and has played great and has not yet complained once about the boos. He's been subject to a lot of boos. As we all know, the Yankees are the team in New York and the Mets are just a little brother. So their fan base acting up right now, booing players for no reason. They're already out. There's no point in booing at this point. And yet for their players to react like this when they should know that they're pretty much already out like that, they're just playing terrible baseball. There's no need for them to have this sort of reaction. There's no need for them to draw this type of attention on stuff like this. They're completely out of the playoff race. They had a huge lead in the division, and they absolutely blew it, and now they're just terrible. Javier Baez has little to no chance to return in New York, and the way he's playing, he may not even be playing anywhere. He's been terrible so far. He hits home runs, but he strikes out a lot. We all know that. And he's just been awful in his time with the Mets. I have no idea where he's going to go in free agency. I could honestly see him going back to the Cubs if he wants to, because that might be the only place he fits in after this. He's not going to be recepted well anywhere. You can't boo fans, especially your own fans, and you can't fight every other pitcher, because he also tends to like to do that, as we've seen him and Amir Garrett get into some issues. Javi's a great player when he's on his game. His game is running. His game is playing good defense. His game's not hitting. He's never been a great hitter. He's always been more known for his defense and his base running magic. That's why his nickname's El Mago. It's never been because of his offensive ability. And it's been more because of his personality. And for him to do something like this, Francisco Lindor too, these are two guys that are known well because their personality. They're very likable players. Players everybody likes because of how their personalities are. This is just very bad for themselves, very bad for their brand. Everyone liked them before this, and I personally won't change my opinions on them because I'm a Yankees fan, so I don't really care much about the Mets, and especially seeing them struggle like this, I try to not pay as much attention, and any attention they get is kind of extra since they're so underperforming. They got to make moves in the offseason as the team's not constructed right, but for their players to boo their own fans is just so disrespectful. They have an incredible fan base for them to even be supporting the way they've been playing baseball, and it's just kind of hard to watch as a baseball fan to see players boo their fans when the fans are still showing up when you're under 500 and blew a huge division lead. And they've been bad for a while now. It's not like this is their first year to be good. They're expected to be good because of what Steve Cohen did with them. Brought in players, traded for Javi Baez at the deadline, signed Francisco Lindor. But them to act like this is just so unprofessional in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think about Javier Baez and where you think he'll go in free agency.